Phase 4 of the MCU is shaping up to be the most exciting phase yet. With a mixture of epic sequels and the introduction of new heroes, this phase will set the stage for the future of the MCU. Black Widow is the first film to really kick off Phase 4, and from there it's only going to get even better. But keeping track of all the behind-the-scenes stuff regarding updated release dates, shooting delays, etc. can get a bit confusing. So that's what this video is for. Today, I'll be giving a complete breakdown of where each Phase 4 movie and television show stands, and all the behind-the-scenes info you need to know to keep you up to date. Let's get started right now. Marvel's Phase 3 ended in spectacular fashion, and because it wrapped up a lot of our favorite characters' arcs, it means that Phase 4 will very much be a transitional phase as the franchise works to shift attention fully away from the core group of heroes and focus on a blend of returning and brand new soups. But the first movie to kick off Phase 4 is an interesting one, as it's the long-awaited prequel movie for Black Widow, a character who fans have been begging to see in her own solo film since she kicked serious butt back in Iron Man 2. And the movie is a prequel not only because any current Black Widow film would just be spending 2 hours at the bottom of that cliff on Vormir, but also because it will explore more of Natasha's mysterious past than ever before.
You're going to get a back hunch.
Listen to your mother.
Oh my God, this...
Up.
All right, enough.
The movie is set in between the events of Captain America Civil War and Avengers Infinity War, and we'll see Natasha battle against the still unknown Taskmaster, who controls the Red Room. She'll be joined in the film by Rachel Weisz, who plays Melina Yostikov, a fellow spy who is also part of the Red Room, David Harbour as Red Guardian, which is the Soviets' attempt at their own Captain America, and Florence Pugh as Black Widow's pseudo-sister Yelena Belova, who many are speculating will take on the Black Widow mantle now that Natasha's gone. There's also a rumor that RDJ also has filmed a small cameo appearance for the film, but take that with a grain of salt. The cast also includes the return of William Hurt as Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross, and O.T. Fagbenle as a character named Mason. But given Marvel's hesitance to reveal any information about Mason, there are those who speculate it's actually him behind the Taskmaster mask. And behind the camera, this movie is continuing Marvel's recent trend of taking chances on independent filmmakers to helm their big-budget movies. After an originally exhaustive search for a director that had Marvel meet with over 70 different filmmakers, Kate Shortland was chosen after Scarlett Johansson pushed for her after seeing Shortland's acclaimed war drama, Lore. So when are we actually going to see this movie? Well, it was supposed to be out already, with its original release date being a simultaneous release on May 1st, 2020 for North America and the UK. But of course, things have changed. As of this video, the film is scheduled for a US release on November 6th, 2020, but UK audiences will get it a week earlier on October 28th. But with Black Widow releasing November 6th, that means the original MCU movie that was supposed to go there has now been pushed. Originally, the new ensemble superhero flick Eternals was going to take the November 6th date, but has now been pushed to February 12th, 2021, and it sounds like the perfect Valentine's Day movie to me. It will tell the story of the ancient race of immortal beings known as the Eternals, who have hidden themselves for thousands of years, but must now reunite when their old enemy the Deviant return to threaten Earth. The film's cast is stacked with stars like Angelina Jolie, Game of Thrones' Richard Madden, Salma Hayek, Kumail Nanjiani, Gemma Chan, Brian Tyree Henry, and Kit Harington as the Marvel character Dane Whitman, who in the comics inherited a mystical sword that helped turn him into the hero known as Black Knight. The film is directed by Chloe Zhao, another relatively unknown name, but I don't think the MCU has anything to worry about because Zhao's most recent film, Nomadland, just won the Golden Lion at the Venice Film Festival, which is the festival's top prize. That movie was praised for its story, its direction, and its lead performance by Frances McDormand, which all bodes well for Eternals. So both Black Widow and Eternals are done filming, and now it's just a matter of time as to when they'll actually be released based on the state of the world. But what about the movies that are still in production? The next film in Phase 4 will be Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. Originally set for February 12th, 2021, the movie was moved to May 7th, 2021, though we will see if that date holds. Originally, the film started filming in Australia in February of 2020, but was then shut down. Production resumed in August of 2020, so as of now, things are still on course. And it sounds like an exciting movie. Not only does it look like it has a great lead in Simu Liu, but also promises the real version of the Mandarin, a character that was controversially adapted in Iron Man 3.
My name's Trevor Slattery.
The supervillain, who runs the Ten Rings terrorist organization, will be played by Tony Leung. The rest of the cast is filled out by Awkwafina, Rooney Cheung, and Michelle Yeoh. And due to a recent photo of Benedict Wong in Australia hanging out with Simu Liu, there's speculation that Benedict Wong's Doctor Strange character Wong might make an appearance in the movie, given the mystical nature of Shang-Chi, wouldn't be that surprising. So those are the 2 films so far in Phase 4 that will be about new heroes, but what about the older ones? Well, Phase 4 is packed with them too. Let's start with the movie side of things before switching over to the small screen. After Shang-Chi, we should finally get an answer to the epic cliffhanger that Spider-Man Far From Home left us with when the 3rd Tom Holland-led Spider-Man film hits theaters.
Spider-Man's name is Peter Parker.
Now, this movie also has experienced a date change. At first, it was set for July 16th, 2021, but then was pushed to November 5th, 2021. And then, interestingly enough, the film had another, smaller date change from November to December 17th, 2021. There's not a lot of plot details surrounding the film since it's so far out, but expect it to deal with the fallout of Mysterio's game-changing video at the end of Far From Home. Most of the cast is set to return for the 3rd Spider-Man movie, and perhaps more interestingly, Jon Watts will be back in the director's chair after helming the first 2 movies. If nothing drastic happens, he'll be the only director to helm all 3 films in an MCU solo hero trilogy so far. So fingers crossed that it stays that way. And now let's move to a hero who no one expected to have a 4th movie, Thor. The surprise revitalization of Thor's character in Thor Ragnarok set up a bright future for the God of Thunder, and now Taika Waititi is back in the director's chair for the upcoming Thor Love and Thunder. Originally set for November 5th, 2021, the film was changed to February 18th, 2022, and then changed to February 11th, 2022. The film will see Natalie Portman make her long-awaited return to the MCU as Jane Foster, who is set to become the mighty Thor. Some might take that as Chris Hemsworth retiring from the character after that, but his recent comments have pointed to him continuing on his role beyond this upcoming Thor movie, which is kind of crazy to think about. And given where the character ended in Endgame, the big question is whether the Guardians of the Galaxy are going to be involved some way.
As Guardians of the Galaxy back together again.
And if Vin Diesel is to be believed, the answer is yes. The Groot actor said in March of 2020 that the Guardians will be featured in the film, but we'll see if things stay that way. Maybe the most exciting thing about this movie is the villain. In January of 2020, it was reported that Oscar winner and former Batman Christian Bale was in talks to join the cast in an undisclosed role. And then later, in March of 2020, Tessa Thompson let slip that Bale would be playing the villain. Of course, a lot could happen between now and the movie's release date, but a Bale versus Hemsworth battle would be awesome! Now, the movie side of things seems incredibly stacked, but don't forget about all the Disney Plus TV shows that also count as Phase 4 releases, and are described as mini-movies stretched out over multiple episodes. Just for a quick rundown, you'll see The Falcon and the Winter Soldier show, which was supposed to be released in August of 2020, but of course was hit with delays, and it's still unclear when we'll actually see it. WandaVision, which is still on the schedule for December 2020 as of this video. Loki's spin-off show is set for spring of 2021. The fun animated What If show will be released summer of 2021. And finally, Hawkeye solo series is set for sometime in fall of 2021. But the actual final film in Phase 4 will be interesting not only because it sounds awesome, but also because of what it will do for the future of the MCU. It's Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Now, this film got its release date shifted too, but in a really intriguing way. Originally, this movie was set to come out before Thor Love and Thunder, but after everything was shuffled, it's now set to be released after the Thor movie to end out the phase. Now, maybe this is because the director, Scott Derrickson, left the film over creative differences, and this has forced Marvel to find a replacement in Sam Raimi, which means more time is needed to now craft this film. But you could also look at Marvel placing the movie at the end because of how important the multiverse will be for the eventual Avengers 5 and Phase 5 overall. A full-on multiverse introduction sounds like the perfect way to cap off Phase 4 and leave the door wide open for the future. We don't know much about the movie, but we know Elizabeth Olsen will have a significant part in the film. And if you read into that, you could probably speculate that her inclusion, coupled with her comic history, means that the multiverse will introduce the concept of mutants. But that is unconfirmed. Director changes in MCU movies are not surprising, but it's curious about Derrickson's departure. If you take what Kevin Feige and Derrickson have said, it seems like Derrickson wanted to take the franchise in a darker, more horror direction that Feige wasn't comfortable with. Plus, if the Multiverse of Madness is now the last movie of Phase 4, there probably comes with it a lot of setup for the next Avengers movie, and Phase 5, which seems like something Derrickson wasn't comfortable compromising on. And that's Phase 4. Phase 5 already has a ton of movies announced, but presumably Phase 4 will end with an Avengers movie of some kind to bridge the gap between Phase 4 and Phase 5. But you never know, we'll just have to wait and see how the MCU handles that. No matter what though, I'm excited and I'm sure you are too. What Phase 4 movie are you most looking forward to? Let us know in the comments below and be sure to hit that like and subscribe button for more awesome MCU content like this. Thanks for watching Screen Rant. See you next time.